views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Phoenix, Brother Mike back on the radio. Welcome to the program. God bless you. Welcome to Filthy Fridays. Reefer Madness today on Hardcore. Hey, will you give somebody a call and tell them the radio program's on? I got some interesting information here about pot that you really need to know, because believe it or not, a lot of Christians still smoke pot. Yeah, they smoke pot. That's true. Can you believe that? Hey, give somebody a call right now and tell them the radio program's on. This will help them today. I'll make some announcements, like, for example, this is Brother Mike. I am the professional counselor at the House of Healing in Central Phoenix. We're on 11th Street, just south of Indian School Road and west of the 51 freeway, down by the VA hospital in the heart of Maricopa County. HardcoreChristianity.com is the website. On there you'll see our 4 services every week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They all start at 7 o'clock. I teach on Tuesdays and Fridays. Kelly and Diane will lead you to inner healing on Wednesday night. Healing the broken heart Thursday night. Our faith healers come in and pray for the sick. All the services start at 7. On the website, you can sign up for our Facebook page or sign up for one of our 4 YouTube teaching channels. You can also hit the PayPal button and send us another donation. Thank you for all the money you've sent us over the years. It's been fantastic. We had another record year last year. If you need a receipt or a donation receipt for 2016, send me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com. I'll be happy to send it to you. You can sign up for another one of our free seminars next month. You should have seen the last one, the women's seminar. It was off the chain awesome. All of our radio programs are always on the air 24/7 on soundcloud.com/hardcore-Christianity. And don't forget to visit our sponsor on page 1 of the website, West USA Realty, for reduced commissions and fees for the saints of God. Pot, Reefer Madness. Did you ever see that movie, Reefer Madness? It was something else, wasn't it? I think it came out in the 30s, and it was a government movie. Looking back and watching it now, you'll get the biggest laugh out of that thing you could ever imagine. It's really funny. But back then, the government was trying to get people to stop nailing the buds. And the problem was they saw back in the 30s that this pot thing could take off and could eventually become an epidemic, which it is about to today. Pot is on the verge of being an epidemic today. It's literally happening. Colorado was the first one to legalize recreational pot usage. I think about half the country now has already legalized medicinal marijuana usage. But now it's going to recreational usage, and it is causing a disaster in Colorado. The cops are now being inundated with the people drunk driving and now pot driving. It's amazing. Have you seen any specials on that or been keeping up with that? It's really been a sad state of affairs in Colorado, and that is going to sweep California. That's going to sweep the rest of the country. Here in Arizona, we did not vote for recreational pot use, thank God. But it's not going to matter, because what the crooks are doing, the transporters, they're going to the states now who have legalized recreational pot usage. They are now growing the pot, and they are breaking the law by transporting it out of state. It's illegal to grow pot in Colorado or California and then transport it out of state. It doesn't matter. The crooks are doing it anyway, and there's nothing that can be done to stop it. So now we don't need to smuggle pot across the border from Mexico. You just need to smuggle it across the border from Colorado into New Mexico and so on. It's unbelievable. But listen, let me talk to you a little bit about pot. As a Christian counselor, I've been doing this for years. I've been a professional counselor for 35 years. Marijuana has deep spiritual ramifications on born-again Christians. You would not believe the number of people that have come to me who used to be heavy pot users, who now have seducing spirits in their brain, and they can't think straight. They are not motivated for God. They keep backsliding. They have this general apathy about Christianity, about serving the Lord, and these spirits get entrenched in the person's brain, and they start to hijack their mind, and the person can't serve the Lord. They can't change. They're even too apathetic and indifferent to go through deliverance. They're very hard people to work with. Heavy pot users usually have very difficult times getting the spirits out of their brain and going through deliverance. It's an incredible detriment to Christianity. It's really dangerous. Now, in Colorado, you don't have to smoke a thing anymore. They put pot in, brownies. It's brewed as tea. You can inhale it with a vaporizer. You eat it in all kinds of different foods. It's really incredible. It goes right into your bloodstream. The THC, it just instantly goes into your bloodstream. And that is true. It probably does have some benefit for pain control. I get that. I understand that. And I see why people use that for that purpose. The recreational pot users are the ones that are extremely dangerous, and they're the ones that are going to take over the United States. This is going to be an epidemic, and I think in the end we'll find it ended up worse than alcohol. The pervasive usage of it, I'm predicting, will surpass that of even alcohol. You can notice the changes with this drug right away. As soon as THC gets into your bloodstream, bang, you can feel it almost instantly, and it usually lasts for 3 to 4 hours at a time. The problem is that pot can increase your heart rate, and it can double over a period of 2 to 3 hours. So the person's heart rate is picking up, and they don't know it. And they're starting to see people having heart attacks within an hour or two after using THC. It can also increase bleeding and have negative effects on your blood sugar. You got to be very careful with your buds. They're extremely dangerous, not only to letting seducing spirits into your mind, but physically it can be very damaging to your body in a similar way that alcohol, long-term alcohol usage, destroys your liver and other organs. THC can destroy organs in your body as well. Another thing about reefers is that although they don't have any proof that they cause cancer like cigarettes, they have documented specifically without question cigarette smoking does trigger lung cancer at a later point in life. They haven't proved that with pot yet, but they have proved that medically it does irritate your lungs. And you'll develop later on what I call a pot smoker cough. It's that pot hack. They'll start coughing, and they'll have a predisposition to pneumonia, lung infections, and chest colds. You got to be very careful working your buds because you're going to be damaging your lungs even if it doesn't cause cancer. My suspicion is that it does cause cancer, but we just don't have the research to document it yet. THC is a very dangerous drug as well. It can cause other things physically in addition to the spiritual detriment of using it. Patients have complained of strange bouts of dizziness and shallow breathing. Red eyes and dilated pupils is another symptom of THC use. Dry mouth syndrome and increased appetite is also another byproduct of this. A desire, craving for sweets and foods that are not good for you is also another byproduct of THC. In addition, if you're on pot, you have a slower reaction time when you're driving. It doesn't have the same effect that alcohol does, where you're bombed and you're not processing quickly enough to avoid an accident. But Pot use does cause a slower reaction time when you're driving. In Colorado, they're having all kinds of driving while potted out cases, DWP. They've got their DUIs, those never leave, of course. Now they've got the DWPs. That's what's going to happen here in Arizona if we ever legalize recreational pot. And it's probably going to happen anyway from it being imported over from California. Listen, if you're a longtime user of pot, you are going to have physical withdrawals in addition to emotional withdrawals when you try to quit. You're going to go through withdrawal symptoms, chronic irritability, sleeplessness, appetite issues, strange cravings. This stuff is extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. In addition, emergency rooms in Colorado and California are now starting to get flooded with patients having the same symptoms. Listen to this. There's a new condition called CHS, cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. And it causes severe abdominal pain and intense vomiting for people who have been on smoking pot with THC, long-term usage. And in Colorado, they're having floods of people coming into emergency room with this strange pain in the stomach. It's doubled in Colorado's hospitals since 2009. My guess is that it's related to the demons the pot smoking lets into the body. I can't prove that yet. We need more time to research that. I need more time to research that in my counseling practice, but that's my guess. It's a spirit that enters the body, probably a spirit of infirmity, giving them this strange CHS syndrome. But worst of all, it causes mind control, the same mind control that was in Genesis chapter 6. Quote, God saw the wickedness of the earth and man, that it was great, and every imagination of the thoughts of his heart were only evil continually. Seducing spirits enter the brain while you're on pot, and these spirits begin to take over your mind. They begin to control your thoughts. They put thoughts into your mind. They control how you think. And as soon as you start using pot, particularly on a long-term basis, the devil will eventually take over your mind. You need to go through deliverance, and you need to go as quickly as you can. I'll see you some evening this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. May God please have mercy on your soul.
The views expressed on the preceding program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program has been sponsored by Michael W. Smith.